And we have strengthening competitiveness through value creation up next. Enjoy.
So, hi everyone, I'm Asia. So I'm Jean-François Gadet from the Lean Institute in Canada. I'm here to present you with Pierre-Paul. So it's an honor for me, I would say a privilege, to be here on the main stage with you, Pierre-Paul. Thank you for accepting our invitation to share your experience with us, the Lean community. So let me introduce you to Pierre-Paul. Pierre-Paul, I've known him for quite a while, almost probably 25 plus years now. I've worked with you, for you, at different stages in my career. Actually, my first real job out of school was with you in your company at Thomas & Betts, which we're going to talk later on. What's amazing is that Pierre-Paul was doing Lean even before the word was invented, I would say. Actually, I think the Lean word was invented with the book, The Machine That Changed the World in 1990. And I remember being told that you were doing Kaizen back in the mid-80s. I would say I was probably in primary school at the time. And also I've been told that you were doing some trips to Japan to learn new manufacturing ways, even prior to that. So you've been vice president, you've been president, you've been now you're CEO. You've been a key role in my own development, allowing me to work with many ex-Toyota managers and actually early LEI faculty members like Rick Harris, Mike Ozeus, Pascal Denis, Art Smalley, that has a webinar in our 24 event, and also Marek Piatkowski, that was one of the first person at Toyota in Canada with the new plants. So they've all provided different views of Toyota, I would say, or Lean, brought different perspectives that help drive the success in your career. Yes, I can say that your leadership, the way you pushed Lean management practices, helped the organization you've been into value adding. And actually, always putting customer first, which is something sometimes people forget about. Lean is all about customer. So you were putting customer first in operations in a way of each organization became very attractive to other companies. And especially you're going to talk about two cases. One which is Thomas & Betts, which their headquarters were in Memphis, Tennessee, a multi-billion-dollar company, around 5,000 employees, nearly 60 sites around the world, I would say. And this company was acquired by ABB, so it's now ABB, the Swiss company. The other case we're going to talk is about Camso, which had their headquarters in the province of Quebec in Canada. Also, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, around 9,000 employees before it was acquired by Michelin, the French company, the tire company. So all these two examples became such companies became with such value. How was Lean linked to those success? Today, Pierre-Paul will cover those stories and much more. So before I let you go, Pierre-Paul, please, I would ask people that are in this webinar to don't forget to go to the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, not on the chat button, to go and ask questions that we'll answer at the end of the presentation. So Pierre-Paul, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jean-François. That's very nice of you for all the good words you said. So I'll put the presentation on. Is it visible now? Jean-François? Okay. Very good. It's stop sharing. No.
Yes, you're sharing, Pierre-Paul. Everything is good. I'm just going to backstage to
Okay.
let you present.
Okay, I see. Thanks. Sorry for the confusion. So yes, as Jean-François described, I work with many, well, a few large company. I'll talk about that a bit. At the moment, I've been semi-retired for the past 7 years. I support various companies, being on the board members, being a strategic advisor for a group of 100 company up here in Canada that are focused on expanding their operation worldwide. And in addition to that, I am co-owner of a company, a startup company that produce AGVs, autonomous guided vehicle for the industrial world, so replacing a lift truck. So keeping busy. So I'll go right away into my presentation. So one of the message I want to leave you with is the fact that we see a lot of changes presently on the market. The economy, the industries are being challenged with a lot of things, but it's not necessarily new. As a matter of fact, when I talk to various company, they have similar, they have seen similar challenge in the past. Myself, throughout my 40 years plus in the industry, I went through some major challenge, like when I was in with Rockwell International Automotive Division. We were facing the Japanese manufacturer getting a lot of market share with their product, their improvement on the quality and productivity, and that was very challenging for the automotive industries, for the established leaders. In the 90s, there was, for us anyway in Canada, there was the free trade, and after that for all of North America, including Mexico, which changed the marketplace totally. So for Canada, that removed the protection that manufacturer used to have to sell to their local market and having competition, having to pay duties or tariffs to enter the market. So free trade removed that. So that was quite a challenge to raise up to the competitive marketplace that end up because of that. There was in the mid-90s a lot of mergers and acquisition, and that created also a lot of turmoils on the supplies and a lot of new competitors that came on board as well. End of the 90s, we all know globalization, offshoring. A lot of companies moved their operation to Asia. And after that, Chinese manufacturer became stronger and started to move from being a supplier to being competitors. So throughout all of those elements, all of those events, that was big challenge every time. Today, we're seeing a lot of changes, a lot of chaos. I think it's not that it's necessarily worse than it was, it's faster. Those challenges are coming much faster than they used to be, but it's the same kind of challenge that we're facing. Today, a little bit of the opposite as what we had seen in the past. We're seeing reshoring locally, tariffs are coming back in place, unstable supply chain, etc., that we have to face. So in addition to that, we have new technologies that really create good opportunities, but really add to confusions also. And when I talk to CEOs that I'm supporting with the various company I'm working with, I see that there's a lack of focus on the important things, on the important issues for the business, and spending maybe too much time trying to adapt to the new technology and grabbing the opportunities of artificial intelligence, and before that it was Industry 4.0 and so on. Every technology or new tools brings opportunity, but we should not forget the foundation. And that's one thing that I found disappointing with a lot of CEOs that I'm visiting. They're telling me that, Pierre-Paul, lean is good, but we've done that. We're beyond that today. And most of the time when I go on a shop floor, I see that lean is not there. It hasn't been formally established, but they already want to step to other things. So staying focused on the foundation and on the importance, the true north for the business is so important. My feeling, you probably heard before, a lot of the transformation in the industry, whether it's lean or there was the Six Sigma that was very popular a few years ago. Now it's the digital transformation. Consultants are seeing that most of those major transformation have a relatively low success rate. And I think that's because there's not enough focus by the CEOs on the true north of their company, and they get distracted by the tools rather than just using the tool, but staying focused on. So that's one of the lessons that I've had in through my presentation. I'll try to represent a little bit how I navigated myself through this. My personal journey started early in the 80s in the automotive industry. And as you know, that was an industry that was being challenged big time at the time by the Japanese car manufacturers. They were really using the Toyota ways, if we can say. But at the time, we were chasing. I remember having been on presentation with North American OEM, and they were getting the suppliers like Rockwell to chase tools one at a time, getting into statistical process control, quality circles with employees' involvement, or just in time, reducing inventory, and so on. So there was a lot of spinning, as you all know, you know that story. So that was not great. But for myself, a big awakening was when Mitsubishi made a joint venture with Rockwell, or Rockwell Automotive made a joint venture with Mitsubishi. So I had an opportunity to go to Japan and worked with people at Mitsubishi that had been trained by Toyota's trainers or ex-Toyota trainers. I visited some Toyota factory as well. So it totally changed my mindset. Went from technology, which was my main focus when I got out of school as a young engineer, to focus more on process and people, and understanding that process and people are so powerful and so much powerful that you can achieve a lot of things at low cost, no cost, compared to the big investment that I was tempted to do as a young engineer. As I said, developing big machines with a lot of bells and whistles, very expensive. So you don't have to do that necessarily. So that was a big lesson at the time, and I could see them doing very thorough analysis and learning to go from very local improvement, optimization of the work cell, but always keeping an eye on global optimization of global value stream. which was not necessarily the case of what we were doing in North America at the time. They were really focused, and a lot of companies are still very focused on the local improvement, acceleration of the cell rather than looking at a big picture from end to end. So a lot of things that I've learned and throughout that, I saw that these principles can be applied pretty much everywhere, from sourcing to distribution to product innovation, business process improvement. So I've been using those general principles throughout my career after that. If we take one example, one business case is, as Jean-François mentioned, Thomas and Betts. Thomas and Betts, which are now a part of ABB, was at the time when I joined, was a $50 million business, $50 million business, and focused strictly on Canadian market. But when I left in 2005, and that's not because of me, but we were up to 500 million. What happened? Well, first, Thomas and Betts, if you don't know, this is a business that was producing or still produce, because the brand name still exists, producing small electrical component, not necessarily very sophisticated, a lot of them being non-active product like tie wraps, electrical outlet boxes, the barrettes or wire connectors, things like that. So, of course, when you face competition from Asia, it's quite challenging because of the fact that it's hard to differentiate yourself by innovation on the product. But what we've done using Lean was really to achieve the game plan to succeed to maintain the production locally. So what happened was we really, starting in mid 90s, really focus very strongly on value proposition that was very attractive for the customer. For example, we came out with some promotion for one-stop shop, having a very wide offering of various electrical product for the electrician, for the electrical distributor also, so that we were capable of supplying pretty much everything, along with unbeatable service level and quality, of course, so that there was no reason to go and seek product anywhere else. We also added a lot of new product to the market and complexified the product line. So rather than producing strictly high volume, which was easy to source from Asia, we increased the number of product, having really customization for each application, making it harder for competitors to come in. Process improvement also to ease the way of doing business with us. So things, for example, that was very innovative was to manage the inventory of our distributors centrally from our own warehouse. So shipping to customers, in this case being the electrical distributor, a pallet that was pre-packed for their own local distribution. So they were gaining a lot of speed, and we're talking about mid 90s when we were doing things like that. So really early on. The strategy was supported by relentless desire to improve. So we started with things like total quality excellence, which was really GIT tools, early 90s or even before that, and went with the global lean thinking starting in 96. In our case, it's really, we jumped really more into it starting at the end of the 90s, in 98, 99, applying a lot of training on various tools using the Lean Institute, learning to see book, doing the value stream mapping, a lot of training, of course, the Kaizen, of course, the various improvement on the shop floor, and going from basic tools to more and more sophisticated elements, trying to link more and more the overall value stream from end to end, and creating a strategic alignment with each business unit from sales to operation to support function. So doing that, we were able to link production with the warehouses. For example, putting a pace that was from the maintaining a pace between the manufacturing cell to the warehouse as the consumption were happening, with all kind of tools that we have developed to achieve that without having a lot of sophisticated IT system. It was very visual. But all of the focus was really on a key mission and goal, maximizing the agility and the service to the customer. That was really the trigger, again, to achieve this focus of one-stop shop and unbeatable service. It was the key element to differentiate ourselves. And that's the main thing. I think if you want to win in the business, in the chaos, you have to differentiate yourself. So through these things, we achieved a lot of improvement. Of course, you all know the type of major improvement you can achieve by applying lean consistently. Other things in CAMSO, same thing happened when I joined in CAMSO in 2007. There had been a previous lean deployment with some tools imported from Pratt & Whitney, but the focus at the time was really too much on tools, not enough on the big picture, on the business case. So we changed that. We clarified the company mission and vision so that we could streamline our product offering, keep only the core product and a product that had a high potential of differentiation. But we went all in investing on the way to produce those products in a way that were untouchable from the competition. CAMSO are producing product like rubber tracks for various market, and at the time it was strictly a rubber track. And so we went from ACE that was really tool driven to a more inclusive approach with Lean Institute, using Toyota Way, with external help, for example, like Rick Harris and Marit Piatkowski and Art Smalley. A lot of good input that we received, which is key for the success, by which allowed us to make an acquisition of a company that was twice as large as what we were from a dollar standpoint, but much more complex. They were in 40 countries, and they were in real bad shape. So we took the same process of doing the end-to-end supply chain improvement, using the seeing the whole of the value stream, from distribution of a plant that is in Sri Lanka or Asia and Vietnam, shipping to Europe or in North America, and made some various improvements. So we achieved a lot of improvements, reduced inventory while making major service improvement, which again allowed us to create a very attractive business. And at the end, CAMSO ended up selling to Michelin and created a lot of value for the shareholder. Key success factor throughout of this, the lesson learned, really I cannot insist enough on setting true north. It is so important. We really have to establish that. And as I said before, I sometimes feel that the CEOs that I'm working with are not making the true north or their vision sufficiently clear and not published enough. So that was a success factor. Aligning management system with transformation project, it should not be two different things. You cannot have a management system and doing strategic planning on one side and then transformation to become lean on the other side, and having a third one for digital transformation. It has to be all inclusive, of course. Make it visible at all level. In our case, it was visible on the shop floor, daily walk, local management review. We were doing plant visit, sharing information, a lot of report corporately, doing lean conference with annual awards, gathering 35 manufacturing site at Thomas and Betts at the time, and sharing the best practice and getting a lot of training also, as I said before, from key expert, because that's an investment. You accelerate the return on investment, and it's very valuable for the business. So in conclusion, for me, as I said before, supporting various enterprise, I see too many CEOs that are confused, chasing new phase or technology, and are not focused enough on the basic. And I think that's what we have to get our focus on. And I strongly believe that with proper focus and agility, we can win every battle despite the chaos. Mr. Jean-François.
Hello, Pierre-Paul. So maybe a few questions to end the presentation. Maybe one now. What are the tools that you would use to follow an organization's capability to bring value to its customer? So how do you follow that? What would be your suggestion?
Well, I think, of course, establishing KPIs that are in line with your true north is critical. But in pretty much all of the organization, bringing value to the customer start with having unbeatable service. That's unquestionable. That's probably the first thing. And that comes with reducing the lead time, the overall lead time from the supplier through the manufacturing shop floor to your distribution system. This is really key, and it can get very complex in today's world with suppliers that are offshore, but so important.
Can you share a bit what was your performance around delivering on time?
Well, yes, really in Thomas and Betts there was a lot of product, and it was there was a make to order and make to stock. But on the make to stock, the goal was to achieve 95% of the first fill rate consistently. That was really at least the target. But we had thousands of different SKUs, so it was challenging. So the flexibility, the agility of the workflow was so important. And lead time for the business make to order was critical. So there it was at least 95% of respective promise date, and trying to achieve all the time and reducing the lead time. The goal was to be the best lead time on the market, to beat the competition on the lead time.
Okay. Maybe a quick one. How do you manage accountability in an organization?
A good one. I would say it's really measurement, linking the overall planning process from strategic planning to budget to evaluation, personal evaluation, and having a plan where you take your true note, annual target, and split what you want to do from a improvement standpoint and
Okay.
from a result standpoint.
Thank you.
Jean-François, Pierre,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much for sharing the stories from Canada. We will have to continue. Unfortunately, the time is up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes fast.
Thank you, guys.